Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final episode of our podcast, We Love Languages. Today, we have Peter Finch as our guest. Peter Finch is a sophomore from Birmingham, Alabama, who is majoring in nursing. He is an honor student who is currently taking Dr. Andrea Nate's Spanish for Healthcare course. In this interview, Peter will share his experiences as a student in Dr. Nate's course. So thank you so much for being here, Peter, and I'll just jump right into the questions.
Thank you for having me.
What kind of role or career do you plan to have as a healthcare professional?
So after I graduate, I want to start out as a nurse in the ER, or the emergency room, and probably work at UAB for a couple of years, and then I want to try to go to grad school at UAB and become a CRNA. And for those of you who don't know, a CRNA is a nurse anesthetist, and so they're the people responsible for putting you under anesthesia whenever you do surgery. So That's my plan so far.
That sounds really cool. So you said you want to start out as an ER nurse, so you must be good in high-stress situations, so you like seeing all the crazy things that happens in the ER?
Yeah, I think it'd be really exciting. I think it'd be really fun. It'd be a good experience to have too. Plus, I have to get 2 years of experience just to apply for the grad school program regardless.
Gotcha.
And there's so many different avenues you can take with nursing. I think that's the one that I would enjoy the most.
Okay. I can see that. I think there would always be something exciting happening, so I don't think you would get bored at all.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah. Why did you decide to take Dr. Nate's Spanish for Healthcare course?
So last semester, you get your email from your advisor, right? And he tells you all the classes you think you should take. And she said I had to take a second humanities elective. Mm-hmm. And so those options were like philosophy, sociology, or literature of some sort. Mm-hmm. I've already taken a lot of literature, obviously, through high school, and I was just I really don't want to take that. And I remember Dr. Nate sent out this mass email about her course to all the nursing majors. And I just thought, that actually might be really productive in my career, just to have some. I'm probably not going to be fluent. I'll never reach that level, but just to have some basic understanding of the language, because, without a doubt, in my career, I'm going to come across a Spanish speaker who's a patient, and I think it'd be really good to have that in my future, as opposed to literature, which I'm not really going to use, when I'm working on a patient. So
yeah, and knowing the language, you yourself are the interpreter, so you don't have to refer on technology or go seek someone else. You're the resource, so I think that's a cool part of it too.
Yeah.
An important part of the course is the Spanish clinical encounter activity. Can you describe what you did for this assignment?
So it was a simulation of a healthcare, just someone in the healthcare field and a native speaker. And the native speaker was the patient, and they were just a student or someone who's fluent in the language. And then we, the people in the class, would have to act as the healthcare provider. Mm-hmm. And it was all in Spanish. We couldn't speak in English, and we would have to ask them questions in Spanish, and they would respond to us. And we had to basically figure out what they were saying, translate it, and summarize back to them what we understood, as to I'm trying to say, have proof that we were actually doing I'm trying to find the word to say, just understanding what they were saying,
mm-hmm. Retaining the information.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'd always get really nervous beforehand, mm-hmm. But then as soon as it started, I'd be fine, and it just go really smoothly.
Yeah. Well, you kind of jumped into my next question. So how did you feel before, during, and after the clinical encounter? And what do you think were the main the main reasons that you felt the way you did?
So before like the whole day, I'd be really nervous, just
Mm-hmm.
because like I haven't taken like a Spanish class since sophomore year of high school.
Mm.
Um, so I just like I'd feel like, oh, she's gonna say something I'm not gonna know what it means,
Yeah.
really awkward, which it wasn't. Like as soon as it starts, right, it's really not that bad. If you don't understand, you can just like they'll help you. They can't speak in English, but they'll try their best to either like point to a body part or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then so during like all the nerves went away, and then after, it's a pretty cool feeling. You're like, I did that, so that's cool. Um, what was the second part of the question?
um, why do you think the main reasons you felt that way?
Um, I don't know. I guess just because I guess I was just afraid of like being in an awkward situation. I guess that's why I was nervous.
Yeah.
I guess that's why. And then during like I just felt calm because I finally realized like it's not that deep, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the whole point of a simulation to try to prepare you for that future field.
Yeah. That's great. And I was a patient, a Spanish patient for the simulations. And from my side of it, I had so much fun. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was an interesting and cool experience just to be in that type of situation and to do it in a setting where it's kind of okay if you mess up, and it's okay if you mess up regardless, but like you have the practice first, so if you ever are in that type of situation in your career, you'll know how to handle it. And for me, it was really fun, and it was fun getting to talk with you guys and like have to demonstrate some of the symptoms we were feeling, even if we couldn't say it in English, So I thought that was a really cool part of it as well.
It was fun because you're not going to find yourself in that situation like very often, right? You're not going to have a lot of opportunities to be able to do that. So it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it was really good practice too, like how you said you were a little nervous, but like you still just used the Spanish you knew, and that's like real world, real life situations that you'll be in. So as language learners, taking risk and getting out of our comfort zones are so important for our learning and becoming fluent in the language. How did the Spanish for Healthcare course, and in particular the Spanish Clinical Encounter, help you to take risks and get out of your comfort zone?
I'd say the encounter was probably the biggest part of that, just because like again, like you're afraid you're gonna just bomb or like really badly mispronounce a word. But putting yourself in those situations are the only ways you're gonna get better as a speaker.
Absolutely.
So by Dr. Nate like making us do that, I can already tell that like, well, first like my pronunciation has gotten better. At least I think so. I hope it has. But that, and if I'm in a situation like that in the future, I'll at least be somewhat prepared, right? So because she made us do that, it kind of just like it makes you gain confidence, I guess.
Yeah.
Just to be in situations like, even if you are like really nervous, you're gonna like just completely bomb it or just mess something up. It's it's to help you gain that confidence to be able to like succeed in your future.
Yeah, you feel more confident after doing it, right? Like you feel better with your Spanish.
You do.
Yeah. So it sounds like you have been able to connect with your patients and practice showing empathy in Spanish. What does empathy in the healthcare setting mean for you personally? And how does it connect to your values as a future healthcare professional and your future patients' possible physical, emotional, and mental needs as humans?
Empathy to me means just being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, being able to see